You know, sometimes a movie is really good, even with copious amounts of Fred Durst. Population 436 is a story about a man played by Jeremy Sisto named Stephen Cady. Stephen is a census taker, and he's curious as to why the town of Rockwell Falls has been at the population of only 436 people for over 100 years. He goes down there to talk with each and every 436 people that live there, and he starts noticing things are weird. Now, on his way there, he was lost, and he tried to get some directions from the gas station attendants, and instead of doing that whole creepy, eerie thing like on Children of the Corn and saying, you don't want to go down that way, they just walk back inside, and he says to a Brittany Spaniel that we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Now, he's driving along. He finds the road he's supposed to be on. He's driving along, and he sees a beautiful blue-eyed, brown-haired automaton. I'm serious, this girl could have acted better. Fall off of her horse. While he's distracted by a beautiful girl on a horse, he gets 2 flat tires because he runs into like 3 feet deep potholes. And they keep them there to keep people out. As soon as he arrives in town, somebody's wife gets sick. So, being steeped in tradition like these people are, they take it that he is going to be someone who's going to live here now. And they all embrace him. They're all way, way nice. And he finds out why the population is at 436. And if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this right now. But even with this spoiler, I'd still recommend watching this movie because it is really good. He finds out that every time there is a new resident, whether somebody is pregnant or whether somebody moves in or whether something is going to happen along that lines, there is a woman or sometimes a man. I only knew of the one, they only showed the one time, selected. And see, here you go, ladies. White men in suits making decisions about your health care. And in this time, instead of saying you can't get an abortion, you filthy whore, it's, guess what? You get to die next to keep the population at 436. So there's a public hanging. Yeah, it's really something. And anytime anybody disobeys or goes against the rules or something like that, they're told they have the fever, and then they're subjected to these freaking medieval early 1900s freaking torture methods that we used to do to the mentally ill. And there have been, it's not a really like advanced kind of town, and yeah, it's handed down. The dad, who's a doctor, has a kid, and his kid is a doctor, and so on and so forth. The mayor's kid becomes the mayor. There's no electing. There's none of that. You're just told what you're going to do because it's based on what your dad did. He tries his best to get out, and I'm not going to give you away any more because I really like this movie and I hope you actually watch it. And while he's investigating, doing the census and trying to figure things out, he starts noticing before the whole public hanging thing that there's something weird going on with the town. The numbers 4, 3, and 6 mean something significant in the Bible. And of course, you know, another message, crazy Christians taking the Bible to mean whatever they wanted. And he learns from the mayor that there was a man who once brought his wickedness into the town, and then after a bunch of horrible, horrible things happened, the population ended at 436, and after a cleansing rain came and took care of all the wickedness, someone's great-grandfather said, that's where the population's going to stay, so we don't encounter this again. And I loved the way it was slowly pieced together to where you could go, oh, well, okay, that's what happened. Let's get to the rating. You get your participation star. The men in this movie did a great job of acting. I thought Fred Durst, ew, he's not an actor. Once again, he's gonna suck. It's actually kind of good. And like I said, I never really liked Jeremy Sisto. I didn't say he was good. I didn't say it was bad. It did actually scare me. It scared me in ways that, you know, it played on themes like total government control, like religious control. Women don't get the right to choose about what happens. And it was a subtle bunch of themes instead of like a beating you over the head kind of themes. It was, you could read into it this kind of subtext, not, this is the subtext, bitch. And one thing I noticed about this movie is that there's a lot of curly-haired men in it. There's brown-haired women with blue or brown eyes, and there's curly-haired men. All except for poor Fred Durst, that bald motherfucker. Good plot and a good script, and it actually scared me. 2 times on the same damn spot. There's a time when he's going in to check if his car has been fixed in this very primitive town. I mean, his car is at the old fire station, and he sees this person who had recently suffered the fever and has had all the strong-willed, anything questioning electroshock therapy out of him. And why is it scary? Because he goes to turn the light on in a dark place and sees a face underneath it. That shit will get me every time. Why? Because if I were walking around my kitchen or my house in like a tank top and booty shorts or whatever, and I turned the light on and saw somebody, I would be flipping out. I'd be reaching for my gun and shooting a bitch. So yeah, that's why it's scary. Like I said, the women in this story, they were brunette automatons. They didn't really give much. And I'd like to say that the acting is middle of the road, Kyle. And in case you forgot middle of the road is, here's a reminder. You know how your friend set has 3 guy friends, the same name? Let's just say Kyle for the sake of it. And she has ugly creepy Kyle. Creepy Kyle kind of smells and he leers at you, and creepy Kyle farts a lot and he's just really gross. Then there's really handsome Kyle. Handsome Kyle smells amazing, has wonderful hair and beautiful teeth, and when he says hey baby, it makes you weak in the knees. But when creepy Kyle says hey baby, it makes you vomit because Kyle's creepy. Then there's middle of the road Kyle, and she comes to you and she says, hey, I set you up with Kyle, and you're like, oh my gosh, not the smelly one, right? Please tell you set me up with the good looking one. And then she set you up with middle of the road Kyle. He's not exactly drop dead gorgeous, but he's got personality. His teeth are clean. He good hygiene, nice guy, has a good job, good conversation. She set you up with middle of the road Kyle. You're not going to hurry up and jump right into bed with the middle of the road Kyle, but you're not going to run screaming. So I strongly recommend watching Population 436 because it was actually good. And for the first 40 minutes, I didn't even recognize Fred Durst. I was like, when is he going to show up? Is this him? Oh, right. He plays Second Deputy Bobby. And there's actually depth to his character. I think it is unfair in a sort of way that there's not very much depth to the female characters and all of that. But, yeah, watch it. Be good. Bye-bye.